Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to take a look at another horrible case with you. Truth is something that exists in reality and corresponds to the real state of affairs. But sometimes it is difficult to accept the truth, and a person creates a lie which they sincerely begin to believe and convince others of. 11 young men and one girl met in a hotel room to celebrate the new year. Strange collaboration, you might think, and you would be right. But wait, there is one fact that will completely change your opinion. The men at this party are all members of a sexual minority, which means that 12 friends just met to have fun and celebrate the year 2021. Indeed, they celebrated the new year very cheerfully, so much so that on January 1st, the company had to take the only girl to the hospital where doctors declared her dead. But who was she? How did she die? Was anyone charged in connection with her death? Let's break down the past party almost minute by minute to see what happened on that fateful night, and you'll understand why we started this story with the notion of truth. On December 31st, 2020, in Manila, the capital of the Philippines, at the 4-star City Garden Grand Hotel, John Paul de la Serna checked in at 11 a.m. Christine de Serra checked in later, and during the day, 9 other guys checked into room 2207 and room 2209, which were on the same floor. Hotel manager John Paul Quiroz joined the merry company just after midnight. New Year's Eve night was all about fun, dancing, and alcohol, lots of alcohol. Ramil Galida woke up around 10 a.m. and noticed Christine sleeping in the bathtub. He covered her with a blanket and went back to sleep. When he woke up several hours later, he found her unconscious and beginning to turn blue. Christine was taken to the hospital by 3 friends and hotel staff, but upon arrival at the emergency room, doctors only pronounced her dead. The 11 guys with the only girl spent the entire night in the hotel room, and she was dead by morning. News headlines about the crime shocked the public. Everyone imagined the story the same way because it was obvious what a group of young guys and one girl could do all night. But what really happened that New Year's Eve night, and from what did Christine de Serra die? This was to be solved by the investigation. Christine Angelica de Serra was born on April 13, 1997, into the well-to-do family of John Nestor de Serra and Sharon Rose Faba de Serra, and grew up in Barangay San Isidro, General Santos City. She grew up an outgoing, intelligent, and independent girl. Christine was a loving sister to her 3 siblings, Monica, Chloe, and JJ. After graduating from high school, she moved to the larger and more promising city of Davao, on the shores of the bay of the same name. There she enrolled in university. Christine studied diligently, danced, modeled, and was active on social media. Christine was also the epitome of beauty and intelligence. In 2017, she graduated with honors from the University of the Philippines, Mindanao in Davao City, where she earned a Bachelor of Arts in Communication Arts with a major in Media Arts. The girl had been actively involved in modeling and theatrical performances. On August 5, 2017, she competed against 8 other contenders for the title of Miss Silva Davao 2017 at the New City Commercial Corporation Mall in Davao City. She came in 2nd place. In June 2018, she participated in the annual fashion show. From September 2017 to January 2019, she worked as a marketing consultant for Gano malls in different parts of Mindanao, including Davao City, General Santos City, Tagum, Toril, and Dios. Christine's life had been colorful and fulfilling. In February 2019, her life's dream came true. She moved to Manila to start working as a flight attendant for PAL Express, a subsidiary of Philippine Airlines. Christine's last flight as a flight attendant was on December 28, 2020. Christine's death was immediately publicized, leading to numerous discussions and theories in the community. Initially, the police suspected that Christine was most likely abused and killed by a group of guys she was partying with on New Year's Eve. Even without autopsy results and a toxicology report, Makati City Police filed preliminary charges of assault and murder against 11 men. The Philippine National Police declared the case closed. Arrests were made, and charges and identifications of suspects followed. 3 of the party participants were detained after surrendering to authorities on their own. But the main answer to what really caused Christine's death was the forensic medical report. The autopsy of Christine's body was conducted in Pasay City at the Rizal Funeral Home under the direction of Forensic Medical Officer Police Major Michael Nick Sarmiento on January 3, 2021. The examination of Christine de Serra's body was completed, and a forensic report was issued, which found that death was due to natural causes due to a ruptured aortic aneurysm. However, it also mentioned bruises on the girl's right arm, right thigh, knees, ankles, and right foot, as well as a linear abrasion on her right thigh. Deeply healed lacerations and abrasions were also reported during the genital exam. The National Capital Region Police Department announced that a special investigation team had been set up to look into the case, but Christine's family was unwilling to accept that a young, vibrant girl could die a natural death prematurely. At a press conference on January 5, 2021, Christine de Serra's family stated that they had seen the autopsy report that said she died of an aneurysm. However, they claimed the autopsy performed was incomplete and requested a second autopsy. The parents of the deceased have been trying to understand how Christine's aorta was ruptured. The police and the de Serra family lawyer believed that the aneurysm was the result of assault or abuse, which means it was not a natural death and the perpetrators should be punished. The prosecutor's office identified all of the 11 men who were with Christine throughout the night. Some of them were her co-workers, and other young men were friends of her friends whom Christine was meeting for the first time. It turned out that Christine was the initiator of this party. She had booked the hotel room herself a few days in advance and coordinated this party with her friends. Her mom Sharon was aware of her daughter's friendship with men and never opposed it. Since childhood, Christine had found it easier to socialize and make friends with males, so it was considered normal in their family. Additionally, she and her friends usually did not go home for vacations, so it became a tradition for them to meet each other every year. Christine was able to call her family just after midnight to inform them of the ongoing celebration at the Makati Hotel and to wish her family a happy new year. During the video call, the family could see Christine's friends and the surrounding festive environment. However, there has been new speculation about the abuse allegation. The main evidence in the case became the video frames from the hotel lobby, the study of which helped the police reconstruct the picture of what happened almost minute by minute. The party was to be held in room 2209. Christine de Serra booked this room. The main events began to unfold in the late afternoon. At 11:21 p.m., Christine left room 2209 and went to room 2207. At 11:38 p.m., the company returned to their room. Christine went last, holding her shoes and a glass. At 2:50 a.m., Christine, holding the hand of a new acquaintance, Valentine, went to room 2207. While they were at a neighbor's house, a hotel employee brought an extra mattress to room 2209. At 2:52 a.m., Valentine accompanied Christine to her room. Christine was already quite drunk, her gait too relaxed, and she held a bottle in her hand. The friends stopped at the door, and Christine suddenly kissed Valentine, but he quickly pulled away. The couple then went inside. At 3:15 a.m., Christine hurriedly left her room and went to her neighbor's room. 6 minutes later, one of the guys left there and headed to room 2209, presumably to call his friends. At 3:22 a.m., Christine de Serra was seen chatting with another man in the next room on the right side of the hallway, while two other men walked past them. She looked upset. Suddenly, Christine hugged one of her friends and they disappeared from the camera's view. At 4:13 a.m., John Della Serna was seen carrying Christine back to the first room. At 4:22 a.m., the camera again captured Christine at the door of room 2207. It's unclear what brought her there again. She practically fell off her feet, and a guy who looked like John Della Serna picked her up by the waist and carried her to room 2209. Christine looked pretty drunk. At 5:05 a.m., the camera captured Christine laughing as she ran away from a guy who looked like Louis de Lima. They stood outside room 2207. Christine looked normal, and with him she entered room 2209. At 6:23 a.m., Christine made her last appearance on camera live. Valentine carried her in his arms from room 2207. The girl was conscious. It was an eventful night, but the most important truth still remains behind the scenes. The party continued until dawn. Around noon, Christine was found unconscious in the bathtub. Her friends carried her to the floor and attempted CPR. After unsuccessful attempts, they called for help at the front desk. The hotel manager and the head of security arrived and used a wheelchair to lower Christine to the first floor. Ramil Galita accompanied Christine to the hospital, where doctors pronounced her dead. The investigators had suspicions about illegal substances being used to enhance the effect of alcohol. When questioned, some detainees claimed there were no illegal substances, only whiskey and tequila. Illegal drugs were initially the centerpiece of the investigation, as one detainee reported Christine had doubts about the drinks. However, the autopsy report stated no substances in her drink would cause the aortic dilation or defect. Examination of the rooms and personal belongings did not yield evidence of illegal drugs. Mark Rosales and John Della Serna admitted their unconventional orientation and stated Christine was their best friend, and they would never harm her. Ramil Galita found Christine in the bathtub and thought she was asleep, so he covered her with a blanket. When he checked later, he realized she was blue and not breathing. The hotel advised taking her to Makati Medical Center, where she was pronounced dead due to a ruptured aortic aneurysm. The hospital reported the death to Makati City Police. On January 4th, the Philippine National Police sent a statement to the media about the Christine Dacera incident, saying the case was almost solved, despite missing details. Police Chief Debold Sinus said 3 suspects had been apprehended. However, on January 6th, the Makati City Prosecutor's Office ordered the release of the 3 men due to lack of evidence. Prosecutors stated the evidence was insufficient to prove Christine was abused, and they couldn't establish that this caused her death. The party was a gathering of men of non-traditional orientation, and Christine was an extra woman. Ramil Galita and most party attendees were Christine's co-workers at Pal Express, indicating she was well acquainted with these men and their orientation. On January 13, 2021, the Makati City Prosecutor's Office launched a preliminary investigation based on the autopsy confirming Christine's death from a ruptured aortic aneurysm. They called on police to release the victim's DNA analysis, toxicology report, and histopath study. However, Christine's mother, Sharon Dacera, criticized the report, claiming her daughter was abused. On a TV program, she pointed to bruises and lacerations on Christine's body as evidence. Christine's family requested another autopsy to challenge the findings. Family spokesperson Brick Reyes argued injuries on Christine's body indicated abuse. Christine's parents filed a complaint demanding the dismissal of Dr. Michael Nick Sarmiento for negligence in preparing Christine's forensic report. Dr. Macy Ramos, a friend of the family, said a second autopsy was performed and biological fluids were forwarded for further analysis. The Southern Police District Crime Lab report confirmed the ruptured aortic aneurysm as the cause of death. The report revealed Christine had undiagnosed hypertension and an enlarged heart. The aorta rupture was chronic, indicating it had developed over time. Christine's death was due to natural causes, though misinformation brought shame and persecution to the 11 young men who tried to help her. The charges against them were dropped. The death of Christine Dacera attracted widespread media attention due to suspicious circumstances. Her family continued to believe she was killed, seeking justice. Sharon Dacera appealed to President Rodrigo Duterte for help. Christine was buried at Forest Lake Memorial Park in General Santos City, more than a week after her death. Her story highlights the impact of misinformation and the quest for truth. Despite the autopsy findings, her family remains convinced of foul play, leaving many questions unanswered. Thanks for watching, guys. Subscribe to my channel for more shocking stories ahead of you.